This time I'd like to call the November 7th, 2022 full board meeting order. We have a roll call vote. That Dave Forsythe, students.
Reagan,
Here.
Forsythe, Lightfoot,
Here.
Sheridan,
Here.
Heather,
Here.
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Akers,
Here.
Hay,
Here.
Here, Yako, here, Burke,
Here.
Arquette,
Here.
Nelly, here, Curran, here, 14 present.
Legislators, Denise, please, in prayer, all of the pledge.
Sure. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for the opportunity to gather here yet again this evening. Please accept our continued gratitude, the numerous blessings you have bestowed upon us and our country. Dear Father, too often we find it easier to criticize the behavior of those we do not agree with, rather than looking for the good. Too often we belittle one another, simply because we have different points of view. Please grant us the ability to work with one another in singularity of purpose, so that we may achieve solutions that are best and just for all. When our evening's work is complete, we ask that you guide each of us on our journey home and grant us a safe return. For all these things, we ask your blessing for your Son and our Lord, Jesus Christ, in whose name all things are possible. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Point, we have a longevity ceremony. San Juan County Board of Legislators is proud to recognize these employees by honoring their years of service. With their countless hours of valuable service, they have faithfully contributed their time and energy without expectation or reward, other than gratification coming from helping the citizens of San Juan County. This stands as a testament to many years of hard work. Dedication represents the noblest qualities of being a true civil servant. Some folks were unable to be here tonight, but those who are present, I'll call their name and they'll come forward. First person that I would like to call, well, let me just tell you what people who are not here, Kelly Ayers, in the Department of Social Services, and Vicki Lynn Stiles, Treasurer's Office, and Richard Snyder in the Highway Department. They are going to receive service awards as well. So they're not here this evening. But at this point, I'd like to call Brooks Fickler from the Sheriff's Office. Brooks is celebrating 35 years of service.
So I want to make a couple comments on our two honorees this evening. And it begins with in 1987, where were you? On August 17th, a new deputy with the last name of Bigwart was hired. This deputy worked hard for the county. In July 2000, he was promoted to detective. He was then promoted to detective sergeant. In 2016 to 17, he transitioned to undersheriff under former Sheriff Kevin Wells. He was elected as sheriff and took office on January 1st, 2020. 3 months later, the pandemic hit. 5 months after that, police reform took shape. He was not discouraged, but boy, was it a busy year for the sheriff. He has not slowed down since. Recruiting has never been more difficult, and maintaining staff now a new challenge. Discouraged? Nope, not yet. He lives by example and does not expect a single task to be done that he would not complete. Not to diminish his accolades of juvenile officer, canine handler, detective, detective sergeant, and undersheriff. All titles he's carried out in his 35-year career with the utmost integrity, professionalism, service, and respect, the core values of the Sheriff's Office. He's continued his momentum, the momentum of his career, by starting new programs like the School Safety Initiative with County School District, and been awarded numerous grant funds and concentrated efforts on putting an end to human trafficking. He's established relationships and grown new ones to support the efforts of the Sheriff's Office. He's fiscal-minded and the gold standard for all who report to him. There are no exceptions. Civil, correctional, and criminal divisions are all well served. Brooks Big Wharf as sheriff. Please help me congratulate Sheriff Brooks Big Wharf on 35 years of service to St. Lawrence County. You're an asset.
This time, Johnson. Well, sure.
Also in 1987, on February 23rd, Rick Johnson began his employment within St. Lawrence County with Economic Development and stayed there for approximately 4 years. In January of 92, just a month shy of 5 years, he took a position in the Central Services Department as a computer programmer. And as life happens, fast forward to July 2005, and the computer programmer was promoted to Information Services Manager of Central Services. This unit then underwent a transition in 2009 to a standalone information technology department. And after some years of director responsibilities shared between mentors Keith Zimmerman and Mike Cunningham, Rick has taken over as interim IT director last August. The transformation of technology during his tenure is nothing short of the evolution of the automobile in the 20s. 35 years into his career, Rick is dedicated, lighthearted, talented, passionate, and takes the task of running IT very seriously. Along with network security and education for staff about safe practices, Rick is working to evolve the protocol and practices in IT to be ready for anything. Please help me congratulate Rick Johnson tonight on 35 years of service. Down, please. Yes. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You the other one. Johnny, can you go take a picture, please? The other one. This is big word.
Don't want to be. Are you ready? All right.
Thank you. Thank you. All.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the agenda. Mr. Sluthers and Mr. Stern, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Harry. Need a motion to approve the October 3rd minutes. Motion made by Ms. Stern, second by Ms. Haggard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Kelly, do you have any communication?
Resolution was received from the Town Board of Lisbon, opposing New York State Senate Bill S 51001 and New York State Assembly Bill A 41001, regulating the price and future of done from this banning consumer in public deemed unconstitutional. Resolution was received from Fulton County Board of Supervisors objecting to New York State officials' recent legislation that restricts citizens' Second Amendment rights.
Is there any citizen participation this evening? No.
There was one. Get the list.
Citizen participation, would someone like to address the board? Okay, go ahead. Before you start your talk, just let us know who you are.
Okay.
You're fine.
You have 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I'm Brenda Bolton from Transitional Living Services. My agency works with homeless. We as in numerous agencies in the county are working towards finding a solution for homelessness. This winter at least, they will warming center together. I've talked with the Department of Social Services, and their representatives, which I think very much. We are having monthly meetings. The next one is December 12th at 9 o'clock at the Business Center. I invite you all to come. We need to do better for the homeless population. They're living on abandoned houses, under bridges, and there's encampments in Colton, out in the woods. There's several tents. It gets really cold here. You can't sleep in a tent in winter. That's what I got.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On to presentation resolution, Ms. Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Carol L. Marloff for cleaning services at the district offices of Probation, Department of Motor Vehicles, Emergency Services, and Community Services located at Harrogate Commons in Messina, New York, and I move that resolution.
Any discussion? See no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Ms. Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Julie L. Lawless, LCSW, for counseling services for the probation department, and I move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Perkins, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Karen.
I have a resolution authorizing the chair to sign the section 5311 funding application to continue providing public mass transportation for St. Lawrence County, and move that resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Smithers, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Karen.
I have a resolution authorizing the extension of the contract with Excelis Group Cross Blue Shield to act as a third-party administrator for the St. Lawrence County Health Benefits Plan, and move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Perkins, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with the Office of Children and Family Services for the 2022 Youth Sports and Educational Funding Grant and modifying the 2022 budget for the Youth Bureau, and move for its adoption.
Second, Ms. Kern, any discussion? No discussion, David, roll call vote, please.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
Tanisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Bay,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Bianco. Yes. Burke,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Carmelli.
Yes.
Curran. Yes. Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
14 yes, 1 absent.
Resolution carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign contracts with Little River Community School and Girls on the Run upstate New York for youth sports and educational funding in the Youth Bureau, and move for its adoption.
Mr. Kern, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for the Youth Bureau for grant funds from the Office of Children and Family Services, and move for its adoption.
Seconded by Ms. Kern, Mr. Perkins, Mr. Denisha. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Smithers,
Yes.
Tanisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers,
Yes.
Bay,
Yes.
Yes.
Bianco. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Carmelli.
Yes.
Curran. Yes. Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
14 yes, 1 absent.
Resolution carries. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign contracts for youth development grant programs for the Youth Bureau and move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Diaco and Mr. Smithers. Any discussion? Mr. Terminelli,
I'll be abstaining.
noted. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for social services for administration, HEAP, Medicaid, child care, foster care, and general services and move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Akers. Ms. Kern, any discussion? No discussion, we have a roll call vote.
Denisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Diaco. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Arcot,
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
14 yes, 1 absent.
Resolution carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a lease agreement with the Irrevocable Spousal Trust for benefit of Richard E. McGinn for space located at 280 Main Street, Messina, New York, and move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Smithers. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for community services for funding received from New York State Office of Mental Health to St. Lawrence County as pass-through funding to approved agencies and move for its adoption.
Second by Ms. Kern. Any discussion? No discussion. We have a roll call vote.
Perkins,
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Diaco. Yes. Burke. Arcot,
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha,
Yes.
14 yes. 1 absent.
Resolution carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for community services for the funding received from New York State Oasis to St. Lawrence County as pass-through funding to approved agencies and move for its adoption.
Seconded by Ms. Kern. Mr. Perkins, any discussion? No discussion. We have a roll call vote.
Akers,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Diaco. Yes. Burke,
Yes.
Arcot,
Yes.
yes. Kern. Yes. Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
Denisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
14 yes. 1 absent.
Resolution carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Coordinated Care Services Incorporated to prepare the 2021 Consolidated Fiscal Report and modifying the 2022 budget for community services and move for its adoption.
Seconded by Ms. Kern. Any discussion? No discussion. Roll call, please.
Hay,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Diaco. Yes. Burke,
Yes.
Arcot,
Yes.
Terminelli,
Yes.
Kern. Yes. Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
Denisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
14 yes. 1 absent.
Resolution carries. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with DrugScan to provide lab services for the opioid treatment program. Move for its adoption.
Second by Ms. Kern. Any discussion? And Mr. Akers, any discussion? No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution renaming St. Lawrence County Community Services Mental Health Clinic to St. Lawrence County Mental Health Services and move for its adoption.
Seconded by Ms. Kern. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Mr. Lightfoot.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution accepting the comprehensive opioid stimulant and substance abuse program grant, COSAP grant, and modifying the 2022 budget for community services and move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Akers, any discussion? No discussion, give a roll call.
Haggard,
Yes.
Diaco.
Yes.
Burke.
Yes.
Barclay.
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
14 yes, 1
Carried. Schleifer.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Seaway Valley Prevention Council for the Rides to Recovery Program and modifying the 2022 budget for community services and move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Fay, Mr. Akers, and Ms. Kern, any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote, please, Julie.
Diaco.
Yes.
Burke.
Yes.
Barclay.
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
Haggard.
Yes.
14 yes.
Carried. Schleifer.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign an amendment to the contract with the New York State Department of Health for the Children and Youth with Special Healthcare Needs Program grant and move for its adoption.
Second. Ms. Kern, Mr. Fay, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Schleifer.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign an agreement to the contract with Health Research Incorporated, New York State Department of Health for epidemiology and laboratory capacity COVID-19 enhanced detection and move for its adoption.
Second by Ms. Terminelli, is that your hand up?
No. I mean, I can.
Kern. A second by Kern. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a change order with MJDNY LLC, Octor Environmental, to install emergency stop logs for fuel island stations at the Lisbon, Russell, and Potsdam Highway outpost facilities and modifying the 2022 budget for the Department of Highways. I move this resolution.
Second by Mr. Fay. Mr. Denisha. Any discussion? See no discussion, roll call vote. Kelly.
Burke.
Yes.
Barclay.
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
Haggard.
Yes.
Diaco.
Yes.
14 yes, 1
Motion carried. Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Department of Judas DPC, Appendix A, for the new trail segment for the multi-use trail capital project. I move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Tony Arquette and Ms. Kern and Mr. Perkins. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for the County Administrator's Office for Trail Property Maintenance for the St. Lawrence County Multi-Use Trail Project. Move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Fay. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call.
Barclay.
Yes.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
Haggard.
Yes.
Diaco.
Yes.
Burke.
Yes.
14 yes.
Resolution carried.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for the Department of Highways for increased bridge expenses. I move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Kern, Mr. Perkins. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote.
Terminelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Tang.
Yes.
Hager.
Yes.
Bianco. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Carried, Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for the solid waste department to rebuild the material handler at the Governor transfer stations. I move this resolution.
Seconded by Mr. Smithers and Mr. Lightfoot. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call vote.
Kern. Yes. Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins. Akers.
Yes.
Tang.
Yes.
Hager.
Yes.
Bianco. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Romelli.
Yes.
14 yes.
Carried. Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Development Authority of the North Country for equipment for the solid waste department. I move this resolution.
Second by Mr. Denisha, Mr. Perkins, and Mr. Kern. Discussion. No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Correct.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget for your property office for central clearing, office supplies, and other fees and services. I move this resolution.
Second by Ms. Kern, Mr. Fay, discussion? No discussion, could be a roll call?
Reagan.
Yes.
Lightfoot.
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Smithers.
Yes.
Denisha.
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Tang.
Yes.
Hager.
Yes.
Bianco. Yes. Burke.
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Romelli.
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
So it's carried. Straker.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Systems Development Group, Inc. for the ImageMate online feature enhancements for the real property office. I move this resolution.
Anyway, Ms. Kern, Mr. Perkins. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Straker.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract with Card Connect LLC, Disapay, to provide credit card services to St. Lawrence County departments. Resolution.
Second by Mr. Smithers and Ms. Kern, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Straker.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the St. Lawrence County Workforce Development Board to fulfill the functions of the one-stop network operator. I move this resolution.
Seconded by Kern. And any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Straker.
Mr. Chairman, if I could defer to our trails coordinator, department head here, or program director, the impetus, the stimulus for this trail, Mr. Arquette.
I'll answer in many different titles. Thank you, Chairman. I offer a resolution supporting an increase in snowmobile registration fees to generate further financial support for snowmobile trail development and maintenance fund, and I move for its adoption.
Second by Mr. Burke. Any discussion? Mr. Arquette.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee meeting, I was asked by Legislator Akers, due to the fact that we were looking to have this resolution to send to all of our state reps. His question was, would this be required legislation? The answer to that question is yes. And Mr. Perkins and Mr. Smithers inquired as to the amount the change could be, and there is no amount proposed at this time. Just a little bit further information. This resolution was moved forward by the New York State Snowmobile Association. And what it is what its true intent is to get a feel across the state, especially in the areas of high usership for snowmobiles, if there was the willingness to move towards a higher registration. And most of the club presidents, not all, have supported this initiative to move it forward. So I'm being told that the level of increase would be discussed at the point in time that they feel that there's enough support to move it to legislation in and amongst the snowmobile groups to see if, again, what types of increases might be palatable to the group. The New York Snowmobile Association has some concerns that it might deter some folks, but But ultimately, again, just to keep in mind that no increases have happened with this since 2005. Thank you.
Any other discussion? So no more discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Strikers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution authorizing the chair to sign a contract appropriating American Rescue Plan Act funds for the ballistic vest for probation officers in St. Lawrence County and modifying the 2022 budget for the county administrator's office. I move this resolution.
Second by Mr. Denisha, Ms. Kern. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call please.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
Harrigan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
Denisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Pieto. Yep. Bert,
Yes.
Farquhar.
Yes.
Carmelli,
Yes.
Kern. Yeah. Reagan,
Yes.
14 yes, 1 absent.
Carries. Strikers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a resolution modifying the 2022 budget, county administrator's office, computers for the board of legislators. I move the resolution.
Seconded by Ms. Kern. Any discussion? No, yes, Mr. Burke.
I will be supporting this resolution. Again, same reason mentioned at committee. It's a sizable expense. I haven't really heard any convincing need to spend $20,000. A message to the taxpayers that this isn't, that we're not sensitive to struggle in heating our homes, all the other issues associated with it. So I won't support.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had supported this in committee, mainly for the reasons that I won't be here, that I didn't want to disadvantage the person that would be replacing me here, if indeed that this, brings forward the advantage that was spoken of during the committee. But throughout the week, I've discussed with many constituents and few legislators, and maybe in some minds, there's not a parallel, but we're looking at, as Brenda just pointed out earlier, with the housing, the fuel costs right now are just astronomical. And I talked to many people, and they have concerns about us spending money as opposed to trying to provide some type of relief for these things coming into the winter to help folks get through it. Again, I realize the expenditures are not related, but nevertheless, it's taxpayer money being spent on something. Mr. Forsythe, I talked about it really well in committee, that he was getting everything that he need research wise right here with what we have. So I will be supporting the resolution.
Strikers.
I'd like to respectfully disagree with Legislator Quet and Mr. Burke. I think in their arguments, it's worthy that they're concerned about our constituents, as I am also, but this is stepping over a dime to pick up a penny. Their argument is because the amount of effort that it takes for Kelly and Rebecca to actually put together these board agendas. They can be anywhere. I don't think I've seen one under 20 pages, and they can be 100 and 150. And plus all the information that we receive that we can read on our own time on Google Drive to help us make better decisions for our constituents and our needs. The amount of time that is saved by putting this out electronically for all of us to use and the public to use versus the paper that we used to consume and staple and put it in order and postage and put it out there. This saves a tremendous amount of time. I mean, I know our deputy clerk can't speak to this, but she would be stomping her feet if she had to put this out on paper and mail this out to us. So I would urge my fellow legislators to support this expenditure of $20,000. I would expect that we probably would save $100,000 in time and materials if we revert to paper. Thank you.
Mr. Lightfoot.
And just to add to that, I remember the day, and I'm sure that several other legislators do also, when the St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Department hand delivered the agendas and paperwork to the various legislators at their places of residence. Now, don't tell me that didn't cost anything. So I think that it's a savings. These things are getting old. And I think the cost of maintaining them, going forward, is going to, definitely be something that would need to be looked at. And it's like anything else, technology goes by, and what worked 2 or 3 years ago doesn't work quite so good today. There are other ways of doing things, and I think it does nothing but improve the legislators that do the actual reading of these things prior to coming into these board meetings or committee meetings and seeing them for the first time. So I think it's definitely a point that we should be looking at as better serving the county by getting better information in a more timely fashion and being able to use it. And if there is something to question regarding it, knowing what you're talking about before it comes before the board or the committee. Thank you.
Mr. Manelli.
Thank you. I guess I just have a couple of questions, and I think it came up last week or when we discussed this. I know as we look forward into moving, maybe possibly with a new meeting management system and software that might go along with that, I'm wondering about compatibility as far as the iPads versus something that has an internal memory that can store software a little bit differently than apps. So I'm wondering if that's a benefit of going with the Dell as far as functionality goes, and also IT as far as cybersecurity. So I guess if we have Rick here, if I could just, can I refer to him for those pieces?
Or Rick. Sure. Either.
Mike will speak. So there are a number of things at issue in considering all this. I appreciate your input there, and I appreciate yours as well. Part of the reality, if you just permit me a little liberty here, is regardless, we're in the technological age, like we're here. And the way to do it is to do it right. We were asked for our recommendations, we gave them. And now, so we've got both the supportability issue. So the cost is not just the cost of paying for it, it's the cost of supporting them. These are all things that we work very hard to do efficiently. So it goes, the iceberg goes quite a bit beneath the surface. And another thing that I was speaking to the administrator about very much concerns me, that comes into play with these devices as well. And moving to a Microsoft-based platform from where we are with security. So we don't have a setup that handles security in a way that's acceptable to me, and this helps us move that forward as well. And I'm glad to talk about that and to entertain any other questions.
Perfect.
Several questions. What's going to cost? What have we actually heard? They got broken, so there has been very little maintenance costs. Another question. $100,000 worth of paper. We've had these now, but they've been here since I've been on the board. We've had this, so use of paper hasn't been an issue for as long as we've had the iPad. And am I missing something with that? I can't speak to the paper use.
So that was one of the principal reasons we brought in the electronic technology piece when we did, was to reduce paper and postage and all those things.
That's been done.
Yes.
And cost of support. I guess I wonder, when when the new computers come, what's the learning curve? What's the demand from the department? To get us all up to speed.
Big difference is in going to a Windows platform. It's the same thing that we support all across the board with all the departments now. And there are a lot of different ways that affects how that plays out. For example, you'll remember when we were talking about security related concerns and the weirdness that came and the emails that pretended to be from the chairman saying, go buy some iPad gift cards. And we talked about the importance of using business email address for business, personal email for personal. Having a platform that is more universally supportable by us helps us ensure that, we can do that more consistently. And so with the iPads, it's more difficult to ensure that how that is used without having a keyboard. It's a different operating system. There are support. They don't break. So when you asked about were there support problems, it's not that screen broke or we had to get another. However, when something doesn't work right, or we're in a crunch and there are things that we've got to figure out how to do well, and obviously in this forum, very little margin for error when they need to work. It just puts us in a better position to support them as well.
One follow-up question. So we've all been using Apple products.
Yep. Yes.
So is there not a fair learning curve to switch over to a different application? I mean, I know I have an iMac at home. I went from a Dell computer to the iMac for me, and it was a big learning thing. And I'm still struggling with trying to find out. I got your point about it's easier for you to have the same system for what your department, but for our use, I'm just wondering, where's the intent? These aren't broken. They're not broken. We can search on this. I'm struggling trying to find out where the advantage is spending $20,000 when these are functional. And again, apart from the argument that you use a system across the board, I haven't heard anything.
Well, I mentioned the security. So, and when I talk about supportability, and it's not, I don't mean for that to, it's easier for me therefore spend $20,000. That's not. The point is, if I have, and we work for consistency in the platform we support, because that helps my staff. When there's a commonality of experience in the user community, right? All using the same thing. You need to do something, you need to learn something, it behaves in the same way, it helps me support you better. And a big point is the security side of it, because I do not have to support tablets requires a platform called mobile device. We do not have on these items. We can look at that. That's going to cost a lot more than $20,000. These we can support. We know with our current way that we do things. That's a considerable consideration.
I don't recall hearing.
I don't know that it has. So,
Thank you for.
Yes, sir. Mr. Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know I've had mine, for the two terms, and I know it was used before I got it. Big thing that I have concerns with, after you mentioned it, is security. We've had some issues with IT and security. If these can't be maintained, it's gonna cost a hell of a lot more than $20,000 to fix a hacker. Is that correct? If we get hacked on these machines? The
Yes.
security? What
the
could that
answer is
run?
yes.
What kind of dollar figure could that run?
It's thousands, millions, I mean, it depends on what happens. We have a ransomware compromise.
That's what
And it's
makes-
that is real. Those threats are real.
Thank you. That's my main concern and most important.
Any other discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Perkins.
Two more questions. Apple computers, I've always been told that, that the ability to hack is much more difficult than it is the other, whatever, all the rest. Is that accurate?
Historically true, less true today than ever been. My understanding.
Any other discussion? Got a roll call vote?
Sheridan,
Yes.
Smithers,
Yes.
Tanisha,
Yes.
Perkins.
Yes.
Akers.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Haggard,
Yes.
Piaco. Yes. Bert,
No.
Barclay,
No.
Terminelli. Yes. Curran. Yes. Reagan,
Yes.
Lightfoot,
Yes.
12 yes, 2 no, 1 absent.
Carried. Mr. Akers.
Mr. Chairman, I offer resolution supporting Operation Green Light and illuminating the towers at the St. Lawrence County Courthouse green from November 7th to the 13th of 2022 in honor of the veterans in St. Lawrence County. I move this resolution.
Is it safe to say it's seconded by every single person in here except for Mr. Burke?
I'll second that too.
Seconded by all. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lightfoot. And Mr. Perkins. Who would like to?
Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer a resolution authorizing the filling of vacancies and move first adoption.
Seconded by Ms. Curran and Mr. Denisha. Any discussion? See any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next, we have County Administrator report from Ruth.
A few items to bring to you this evening. You'll find the orange covered tentative budget books on your desk this evening. We are working now on the summaries, which we take to providing to you for committee. We'll have those ready for you next Monday. Vacancy Review Committee will meet tomorrow at noon with 2 legislators in attendance. There are a number of vacancies for your consideration this month. Tomorrow's election day. Please take the time, everyone, and vote. I attended the Advocate Drum along with Mr. Lightfoot last Thursday. I serve as a member of their Finance Committee, and Finance Committee was a part of their board meeting. They highlighted the efforts of Drum Country Business that DANK is working on for the organization. All 3 county IDA and economic development businesses support Drum Country. They highlighted also the regional efforts of their Chamber of Commerce's. And I just want to mention to you, on Friday, our offices are closed in honor of Veterans Day, except for our 24/7 operations. The last item, if possible, Chairman Sheridan, would be to recognize County Attorney Button with an address for the board on a decision that came out today.
Thank you. I think the board is aware that a few months ago, actually, it's about 6 weeks ago, you authorized me to act as of counsel to the Gun Owners of America, and specifically Steve Stambula, and Rob Olson, Steve Stambula out of Mississippi, Rob Olson out of Virginia, acting as direct counsel for the Gun Owners of America. Gun Owners of America brought a challenge to the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, which was passed 8 days after the NYSERPA versus Bruin decision that was released in June of this year. The original Concealed Carry Improvement Act included a number of different provisions related to designation of sensitive locations, also requiring applicants to demonstrate good moral character, turn over portions of their social media accounts, identify individuals that they affiliated with, and pose additional training requirements, and was largely viewed as an onerous repudiation of the Bruin decision issued by the United States Supreme Court. The original Antonyuk versus Hochul decision had dismissed the action in August, specifically August 31st, on the basis that the plaintiffs had been unable to demonstrate standing. It was at that point that I affiliated with the Council for Gun Owners of America, and a second action was brought 2 weeks later in the month of September, 3 weeks later in the month of September with our assistance. 2 weeks ago, following a decision on a temporary restraining order, the court held a hearing down in Syracuse regarding the application for the preliminary injunction associated with the request of relief. The request of relief being a challenge to the good moral character clause, the social media clause, the application in-person requirement, the training components, as well as the designated sensitive locations that had designated most of the state of New York as off limits for individuals that carry a valid pistol license. Approximately 3 hours ago, Judge Sotheby issued his decision. It was a 184-page ruling. In that 184-page ruling, the judge struck down significant swaths of the Carry Conceal Improvement Act, namely the provision requiring that the applicants demonstrate good moral character, he saw as patently unconstitutional. In addition, the requirement that an applicant demonstrate through character references and affiliations that they met that good moral character clause, he found that to be a repudiation of the Constitution as well. He struck down most of the sensitive locations as designated in that law. And as it stands right now, he also limited the ability of the state to require that individuals demonstrate on their properties that they are gun allowing, rather than starting from the premise that individuals can exercise their Second Amendment right in public, with private owners being able to demonstrate to those gun owners that they do not wish a gun to come onto their property. So from the standpoint that our objective was to seek a complete repudiation of the CCIA, I would say that we achieved at least 75% of our objective, if not more. I do anticipate that the state of New York will file for an application for a stay in the Second Circuit, but it is notable that they made the application in the Northern District of New York, and Judge Sotheby ruled that the state should not be granted a stay pending appeal at this time. So that ruling is effective as I speak.
Any questions? Greg?
Great job. Steve, since we've been talking about cost, how many hours and what kind of efforts did you take place that you actually personally provided on behalf of the county towards the successful outcome?
When you ask me how many hours I put in, are you asking how many hours I put in that taxpayer had to pay for, or how many hours did I put in on weekends and in the evening?
So I would like both.
Okay. That the taxpayers were responsible for probably, rough guess, between 5 to 10. The taxpayers were not responsible for 60.
So thank you very much on behalf of the citizens that I represent that are in favor of the Second Amendment. This is a great repudiation of this state's attempt at trampling our Second Amendment and our constitutional rights. As I've said before, how much are your constitutional rights worth for you to be the prices? I want to thank you, Stephen, for your efforts. Greatly appreciate it.
I do too. Congratulate you. And, thank you. I know the constituents in my district are very happy to hear this. Exposed to the county. Any other discussion? Okay. Anything else for you?
That's all.
That's it. Any old business? Any new business? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Akers.
So I talked to the county administrator earlier, and I wanted to know, prepare her about our community bulletin board and what kind of progress have we made. We're almost 2 months into this now of this request. Could you please inform us of the status?
Certainly. My understanding is our Director of Community Services has either sent or is going to send a memo to all providers requesting that they avail him to their availability on a weekly basis. So at the beginning of the week, the available spots will be made known on our website.
Will there be any public effort on behalf of community services to actually advertise about the potential of this community board? So if we have, as in our earlier conversation, you had mentioned that some of our private partners may not be interested in actually participating. That would not stop us from still putting forth a community bulletin board that actually would just talk about even the county offices and what's available, either mental or substance abuse, and maybe limited partners that will. I would think it'd be to the advantage of these private enterprises that they would actually access that to promote their services.
We can certainly put that out in the public, both on our website and in the media.
So I think it'd be nice for somebody who is suffering. You mentioned before, nobody that's in a crisis is left unattended to. But I think there's less stigma if it was actually a public forum that they could actually address without actually having to call and talk to somebody individual, directly, at least in the initial phases. Thank you.
Ms. Hager.
Is this the time for other new business?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I recently read that we had great success with whatever marketing campaign the sheriff's department used to get correctional officers. And I would like to propose that we take a really hard look at what they did and address some of the other areas where we're having a hard time finding people. And I commend the sheriff's department on that. It's wonderful, and I'm glad it was successful. Thank you.
Any other new business? Okay, being none, committee reports. Yes, Mr. Denise.
Just want a brief update on Office for the Aging. We had our Office for the Aging Advisory Council meeting this morning. And it's that time of year again that the Office for the Aging is requesting accepting donations for folks that are on the home delivered meal routes. Anyone is interested in donating, I know many of the legislators did last year. So you can please feel free to give your donations to Henri Montgomery, Kelly, or myself. I will make sure that it gets in the right place. And just so you know, there are right now there are approximately 600, over 600 people that are receiving home delivered meals in St. Louis County. There are also close to 70 that are on waiting lists that we don't have enough volunteer drivers to deliver the meals. So again, I hope our friends in the press are listening to this as well. I've talked many times about it and I've yet to see anything. So please, if anyone's interested, can help. There are a number of folks that need the assistance. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Nothing more for committee reports. We've got information we need to discuss in executive session.
We do, we need executive session for litigation, negotiation, and appointments.
Okay, let's move into executive session. Mr. Fay, second by Mr. Kern. All in favor of going into executive session?
Aye.
All. Executive session.
Hey, Glenn.
5 p.m. James J. Moore from Governor, Street Morristown, Jolene Munger from Norfolk, Christopher Velez from Herman, and Nicholas Woodley from Maverick.
Any discussion on those names? Appointments? Second by Mr. Perkins. Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor of those names?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lightfoot?
Mr. Chairman, for the St. Lawrence County Board of Health, term to expire December 31st, 2028. Gregory Healy, MD, Canton, New York, and I move for passage of this amendment.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next would be chairs appointments. As you know, we've been naming the people who are going to be on the repurposing board for the closed parking facility in Augsburg. And there were 4 names that I have not yet reported to finalize it. One will be Steve Lawrence, which will be Augsburg Port Authority. Ruth Doyle, Jason Fottenhauer, Andrea Smith. Who's the new city, acting city manager for Augsburg. That completes the list for those people on that committee. Jim is the chairman. And they'll be getting something on soon.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a
Move to adjourn.
move to adjourn?
Second.